Hong Kong is very much in focus at the Asian Financial Forum 2014 here in Hong Kong. And I'd like to welcome the Financial Secretary of the Hong Kong SAR, John Zhang. Thanks indeed for joining us. I'd like to start, I think, John, by asking you the question about your outlook for 2014. What do you see ahead? And does that really rely particularly on the fact that there is this tapering in the United States, perhaps other economies, and also maybe some sort of lower performance in China itself?
Well, I hope that 2014 will be a better year. We only achieved a 1.5% growth in 2012. And hopefully last year, 2013, we should be able to achieve about 3%. And with things turning around, with the US looking better than last year, and some of the economies looking better in Europe, albeit slowly in terms of the recovery. But Asia remains the center of growth. Even though a lot of people are saying that China is slowing down, but you're still looking at a 7.5% growth.
And looking at the internal economy of Hong Kong, you did introduce, of course, measures that appeared to calm the property market in Hong Kong, an important factor where it comes to the Hong Kong economy. Do you see the requirement for other measures that are going to go beyond that in 2014?
In terms of the property market, the ultimate solution must lie on the supply side. And we're doing a lot in that respect in terms of increasing the amount of supply in the market. But meanwhile, we have also introduced a number of demand measures, and that has, I think, quite successfully slowed down the growth in the market. And I think that put us in a good position to proceed to the future. We must recognize that things do go in cycles, and we need to be very careful to safeguard the stability in the Hong Kong market.
And really looking at the overall demographics of Hong Kong, it's said that Hong Kong's population is getting older and that this could affect our long-term economy. How do you see it? Do you think we'd have to introduce, for example, measures to bring in more foreign workers at all levels?
We have done some projections, and we see that the number of working people to the number of elderly people that needs support will drastically reduce in the future. And this is certainly a concern. But knowing it ahead of time, we certainly have some time to prepare for it.
And then, of course, because the older population is there, do you see the requirement for a comprehensive welfare system in Hong Kong because of the Gini coefficient and the way in which it may have some sort of a negative impact on the Hong Kong economy?
Certainly, I think the expenditure to support the elderly people in our community will certainly increase. But that needs to be weighed against the competitiveness of Hong Kong. And we have always lived in a community of a simple tax structure, low tax regime, and this is where our competitiveness lies, and we must seek to retain that.
John, talking about the idea of competition, of course Hong Kong is often compared to Singapore, is often compared to Shanghai today. Just how competitive is Hong Kong, would you say, in 2014 and going forward?
We are competitive, but we cannot be complacent, and we must work to continue that competitiveness, the strength that we have. So I think what we need to do now is to reinforce what we are good at. We have 4 pillar industries that we are indeed very strong: logistics, financial services, tourism, professional services. These are all our strong areas, and we need to reinforce that. But meanwhile, we also need to reinforce or build up some of these new areas. For example, the innovation, the technological areas, all these things are also great potentials for us.